the determination of sign. How we see those determination, how we consider whether the source is positive or negative or whatever. So the first is we can classify this in few categories. First, sign of batteries, sign of battery EMF sources. So if I talk about sign of battery, how I consider when the battery is connected, how can I consider the battery is positive or negative? First, we need to determine, first we need to distinguish it. So to start it, first we have to consider the case of any battery. Let's take an example. If I'm having one battery, you can see one battery is connected. I can represent my battery in this way also. This terminal is negative terminal, this terminal is positive terminal. Suppose if I'm moving from A to B, if I'm moving from negative terminal to positive terminal, it says the voltage is rising. When I move from negative to positive, the voltage is rising. So when the voltage is rising, it shows the battery direction is positive. Fine. So we can write here, rise is negative to positive, and fall, it means the negative direction. When negative to positive goes, we have to consider voltage source or any energy source as positive. Let's take this battery as E. So it would be plus E. So fall is there if I consider again between this. Let's take example plus minus. If I move from A to B, if I start from A to B, you can see the negative direction. We are moving from positive to negative. The voltage is falling. So when we take the direction positive to negative, voltage is falling. Okay. So this is the first A, and this is my second example. So this is the fall. Fall means we are jumping from positive to negative. So we have to consider that battery as negative. I mean minus E. This is the sign of battery. Sign of battery when we are to put plus and when we need to put minus. So whenever we are moving from negative to positive, it means voltage is rising. Whenever we need to move from positive to negative, it means voltage is falling. So when voltage is falling, we have to represent it by minus E. When voltage is increasing, we have to represent it by plus E. So these are the simple assumptions of battery. You may write it in this way. Now, next is sign of IR drop. In the definition of Kirchhoff's voltage law, we have seen algebraic summation of all batteries and algebraic summation of all IR drops. So now we have to consider the sign of all IR drops. IR drop means drop across each or every passive component. Drop across all passive components or IR drop. So now to consider IR drop, I have to take one resistance. Let's take one resistance between AB. Suppose current is flowing from A to B. This is my current which is flowing from A to B. Okay. So when current is flowing from A to B, it shows my current starts this terminal. Suppose this is plus and this is minus, and the drop across this is V. Okay. When this resistance is connected in any loop, it doesn't mean that resistor is connected in like in a independent way and current is flowing. To make the flow of current, at least this loop should be closed. Okay, so when I start measuring the voltage across this resistor, first I need to check the flow of current, whether the flow of current is this side or this side. Let's take example, if flow of current is from plus to minus, and we know that when we move from plus to minus, the drop is always, voltage is always negative, if you remember. Okay, it means the fall in voltage. Here we can see the fall in voltage. Why? Because current is moving from plus to minus. So this V must be negative. So minus V is equals to minus IR. Here the voltage value is IR. Let's take This is R. So how much voltage across this R? Minus IR. Okay, just because of the current which is flowing is entering to plus, leaving from the minus. So this is negative. Let's take any example where the current is flowing from B to A, not A to B. When current is flowing and the direction of current is this, and now I need to calculate drop across this resistor from A to B. We can see when A to B is moving, we are entering from negative terminal to positive terminal because current is flowing in this way. Okay, so when we entering from minus to plus, voltage is increasing. It means this V must be IR plus IR. So this is what the sign of any passive component or sign of any IR drop. Here, fall in voltage is there. You can see here increment in voltage is there. So these are the rise in voltage. So we can write it fall in voltage, rise in voltage. Okay, these two cases must be considered before starting any of the calculation, any of the thing. So if we go through a resistor in the same direction as the current, so then there is a fall in the potential because current flows from higher to lower potential. So the voltage fall will be taken as negative, which we have seen. Okay, so you can note it down. So we have completed KVL and KCL. We can take any example. Let's take an example by which KVL and KCL can be established. We take a common example. Let's take example in this way. Suppose I'm having few components. Five-volt battery is connected along with R1, R2, R3, and R4, few resistors. So first, I know my current I1 is flowing from this way. I1 till I1 is constant. Then my current divides into two parts, I2 and I3. You can see. Now here I3 is flowing again. You can see. Now at this point, from above, I2 is coming. From this direction, I3 is coming. So this is what the flow of current in any circuit, any simple circuit, where 5-volt battery is connected with few passive components. So we know that this could be the only active source in this particular electrical circuit where I is flowing just because of this 5-volt energy source. I is responsible for this. So I is flowing till I1 is constant. I1 is common. It's the value of I1 is common. It's not changing. But when it divides into two parts, it becomes I2, which is flowing through R2. It becomes I3, which is flowing through these resistors. Now, important is the value of I2 and I3 depending on the branch resistance. I mean, if the branch resistance R2 is greater, so the proportion of I2 which is falling from the this branch, which is flowing through this branch, would be decreased. If the resistance of R3 or R4 combination is greater, so the proportion of I3 is reduced. So the proportion of I3 and I2 will depend on the branch resistance. And we know that if the resistance is greater, current will be lesser. So I3 and I2 are dividing. Again, I2 comes here through I3 through this complete branch, I2 and I3, they combinedly flow through this. Now again, it converts into I1 because it was I1 here. It was divided in parts, again combined in a part. So this is way the current is flowing. So I can apply my Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law in this similar circuit. How should I apply? Let's take an example. This is my node N. Let's take N1. Okay. And this is my other node. More than two branches are meeting. So I have considered two nodes. First is N1, second is N2. You can see at N1, three currents are there. But among three currents, we can see I1 is entering, I2, I3 is leaving. Okay. So I1 is entering, I2 and I3, they are leaving. So how can I apply? Apply Kirchhoff's current law at node N1. How can we apply? So we get equation of KCL, we get I1 is equals to I2 plus I3. You can see it. I1 is my entering current. These two are my outgoing current. Okay. Now applying, we'll solve these equations after Cramer's rule. So I'm just giving you right now equations. Applying Kirchhoff's current law at node N2. Okay. So we get equation like at this you can see two currents are entering, I2, I3 both are entering, I1 is leaving. Okay, so I2 plus I3 is equals to I1. So equation number one, equation number two. There are so many methods to solve such equations, but we'll see the most effective or most versatile generalized function, which is known as Cramer's rule. We'll see it after this KVL cases. So in this way, we can apply Kirchhoff's current law here, Kirchhoff's current law here. So what is the significance of Kirchhoff's current law? This says current cannot be dropped at any point. Whatever current goes inside that terminal, that node, it will leave from those terminals. Okay, there must be ideally there must be zero drop. So I1 is entering, divides into two parts. Okay, then now these two parts are added into I1. So this is what the Kirchhoff's current law. Algebraic summation is always zero. Similarly, we can apply Kirchhoff's voltage law here. How can we apply? Let's apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law in the same circuit. Then we go to the calculation part. First, we have to apply it. We have to, first we need to recognize the sign of EMF batteries. How we take positive, when we take negative, and what are the criteria to decide positive and negative. First, we should be very clear with that. So if we start with this A, B, C, D, E, F. So I have mentioned the circuit A, B, C, D, E, F. Fine. So, like just for the sake of simplicity, I should consider the simple circuit because right now we have to understand the basic principles. So if I start with this simple circuit, applying Kirchhoff's voltage law, now we are able to recognize the battery's direction, whether battery is positive or negative, the drop's direction, whether the drop of any passive component is positive or negative. We should be able. So when current is flowing, do first of all draw the polarities. If current is flowing to this, take it positive, take it negative because current enter into this. Now again positive and negative. Current is flowing into this. The same current, I1, same current. Again, I is flowing positive and negative. So if I start applying Kirchhoff's voltage law in the loop, loop means the closed circuit is considered as loop. We'll see the differences between loop and mesh also. Loop, which loop? A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D, A. I need to first again go to A. Then it is algebraic summation of complete loop. So A, B, C, D, A. A, B, C, D, A. I need to apply. Let's start with AB branch. We can see AB branch consists only one resistor. So the drop across this resistor is what? You can see V1. Let's say the drop across this is V2. Drop across this is V3. Okay, so we can see if I start from this, my current is entering into plus and minus, and I'm applying Kirchhoff's voltage law in this direction only. So when my drop is, my voltage is dropping from plus to minus, voltage is reducing. It means I need to take that drop as negative. So minus I've taken I1, R1 minus Y minus. I'm entering into plus, leaving from minus. So voltage is falling. Again, entering into positive, leaving from minus. The voltage drop is again falling. Same I1, R2. Again, I'm entering into positive, leaving from negative. So my voltage is falling. So again, minus I1, R3. Now, between DA, I can see one active source. So in the definition of KVL, we have seen algebraic summation of EMF sources. plus algebraic summation of all drops across each or every passive component. So we have considered passive component drop. Now the term is active energy source. So I'm entering into negative, leaving from positive. So voltage is enhancing, rising. So it is plus 5 volt equals to 0. So this is the equation of Kirchhoff voltage law. Kirchhoff's voltage law. So in this case, we have seen the polarities of each or every component, how we consider it. When voltage is rising, when voltage is falling. When voltage is falling, we have to consider the drop as negative. When voltage is rising, we have to consider drop across any element or any EMF sources increasing. So when voltage is increasing, take it positive. When voltage is falling, take it as negative. So these are the simple KCL and KVL equations. Now we need to see how we solve these simultaneous equations. Now, suppose this is only a simple circuit. Let's assume 3, 4 more meshes loops are there. The circuit becomes more complicated. So in that cases, how we solve these equations? How we solve those such complicated circuits? Because equations become more complicated. This is only one equation. If I'm having 4 more meshes, 4 more loops, so number of equation increases. In that cases, applying plus minus, putting value from one equation to another equation becomes tough. Okay, so we have to search some kind of easier way. Some easier way is applying some rules in such equation. So for that, we have one rule